Welcome everybody, this is Shannon BR, broadcasting from the Mullet River Sprint Track. That's the home of Down Squad Racing. There's been some amazing racing going on. We have 3 cars that are already going to the finals. Today we're going to have 6 more cars taking the track. Top 3 move on. All driving Corvettes. We have a bunch of big name veterans on the track today. A couple rookies to this track. It's going to be a blast. But for right now, let's go over the rules. Same rules as the last 5 races. If you cross the finish line, no matter upside down, right side up, whatever, if you get past that finish line, it counts as a lap. If you come to a stop somewhere on the track before the finish line and you at least have 2 wheels on the track, that lap also counts. If you DNF off the track, or you finish the track upside down or on your side and you don't have 2 wheels touching, you're back to the pack and a lap down. That's pretty much it for rules. This is the Corvette Super Sprints. Let's meet today's drivers. I'm not sure if you guys know this, but today's pole sitter for lap 1, he's never lost a lap in the Corvette Super Sprints yet. That's Puff from Puff's Racing, driving a 2020 Corvette. Beautiful. Next to him will be Craigster Sr. from Hot Nuts Diecast, also driving a 2020 Corvette. Karmic Racing in P3, that's Hades. That's 3 2020 Corvettes right up front. Next to Hades is Rusty Rod in that 1969 Corvette. A couple big names back in row 3. That is Arlo from Arlo Racing in his 1963 Corvette Grand Sport. Next to Arlo on the outside of row 3 will be Cupcake of Rust Belt Diecast Racing 2009 Corvette. Beautiful Fanta. There is your starting grid. 2 returning champions, 2 rookies to the track, 2 other huge names in diecast racing. Let's get this started. Here's lap 1. And here we go, everybody. That is Puff taking him on down to the carousel. Puff gets a good start, gets the whole shot with Craigster Sr. right behind him. That is Arlo in 3rd. Coming through Champ's corner. Oh, that's Craigster Sr. that flipped over. Arlo flipped over. The lap does go to Puff, and I believe Rusty Rod got 2nd. Going from 4th to 2nd, there is Craigster Sr. upside down, going a lap down. Arlo going a lap down. We only saw 3 cars finish. We're missing 1 yet. Oh wow, that is Cupcake upside down at the beginning of the Hang 10 corner. Chaos all over the track. Let's find out what happened here. Everybody was pretty together going through the carousel. They head on down the hill, but if you watch in the back, that is where Cupcake gets off the track and flips. Hades and Arlo both spin. But there, Craigster Sr. and Arlo both get a wheel off the track coming out of the Phil Collins corner. That leads to them both flipping in the Champ's corner. Great driving by Rusty Rod and Hades to get by both Craigster Sr. and Arlo. Here's another look. That's Craigster Sr. The 2nd car gets off the track, flips it. Arlo gets off the track, he flips it. Your finishing order is Puff, Rusty Rod in the red 69 Corvette, and that's Hades in the other red Corvette coming through. That is 3 cars that will be heading towards the back of the pack. These guys are wasting no time mixing it up. Here's your grid for lap 2. Puff will still be in that pole position. Rusty Rod is now next to him. Hades and Craigster Sr. will be in row 2. Arlo and Cupcake in row 3. Craigster, Arlo, and Cupcake gotta watch out. No cars come back from being down 2 laps. Here we go, lap 2. Puff gets a good start heading through the carousel. We'll get that whole shot. Come through. Rusty Rod gets spun behind him. Puff crosses the line first. Rusty Rod behind him going backwards after a very interesting lap. And there is Craigster Sr. upside down already. 2 laps, down 2 laps. That's a rough start. Here's the replay. Head on down to the carousel. Arlo does go sideways, doing a little blocking going down the hill here against Cupcake. Coming through the hard left, that's Craigster Sr. that flips. Going through the Hang 10 corner, Rusty Rod gets out of hand, but somehow recovers. Cupcake and Arlo get around Craigster Sr. Cupcake blocks Arlo going through Champ's corner. Your finishing order is Puff, Rusty Rod, Hades, Cupcake, Arlo. Here is your lap 3 grid. Puff still doing his thing, up in pole position. Rusty Rod will be next to him. Hades and Cupcake will be in row 2. Arlo and Craigster Sr. will be in row 3. Craigster Sr. already 2 laps back. Let's head to lap 3. Here's Puff taking him on down to the carousel. Once again, he gets the whole shot heading on down. Oh, Craigster Sr. flips over. Puff will take the lap. That's 3 laps in a row that he finishes in first place. There is Craigster Sr. held up Arlo. Now, Arlo didn't finish the lap, but he is on his wheels, so that lap does count for him. Here's the replay heading on down to the carousel. You will see Craigster Sr. getting a little bit off the track heading on down the hill there, and he just flips it right there going into the hard left. Going through Phil Collins' corner here, just sliding upside down, blocking Arlo the entire time. Arlo's not one of those guys that likes hanging out in the back of the pack. He likes getting towards the front, so I'm sure that's not making him happy, stuck behind Craigster Sr. like that. Craigster Sr. going back 3 laps. Just a reminder, you can get a lap back by passing everybody. I'm not sure if Craigster Sr. can do that 3 times over, but you can get a lap back by passing everybody. Lap 4, Puff and Rusty Rod will be up front, Hades and Cupcake in the middle, Arlo and Craigster Sr. still in the back. Puff and Rusty Rod owning that front row for now. Let's see what happens. And on down to the carousel. There is Puff again with the whole shot, flips it. Puff is upside down, getting pushed around the track, needs to finish the lap, doesn't. Puff will be going a lap down. That is Rusty Rod, which will get the first place. Craigster Sr., we were just talking about it, he just passed 4 cars to finish in second. Hades does have 2 wheels on the track, he's going to get third. Cupcake in fourth. Let's find out. Arlo upside down. Just after the Phil Collins corner, we got to see what happened here because Puff took a wild ride. I believe he gets off the track coming down the hill here. Right there, he's off the track. And he just flips it coming into the hard left. If you look in the back, Arlo flipping it going through the hang 10. Once again, here's Puff. Oh, that is Rusty Rod just giving the extra little nudge to flip him once again. Boom. Rusty flipped him like a warm tortilla. Coming through Phil Collins' corner, Puff just holding everybody up. Puff hoping that they'd push him across the finish line, just couldn't get there. One last look coming through Champ's corner. Watch Craigster Sr., he's all the way back in 5th right now. Something happens to Hades where he flips up and Craigster Sr. just sneaks by Cupcake and Hades to get in 2nd. Pretty slick move to the outside as everyone was coming to a stop. For the first time since he entered the Corvette Super Spins, Puff will not start on the pole position. That belongs to Rusty Rod. Craig Sr. If Craigster Sr. finishes in front of Rusty Rod, he'll get a lap back. Hades is starting P3, but he's actually in 2nd place. Here we go with lap 5. Rusty Rod, your pole sitter, brings one down to the carousel. He gets the whole shot. Craigster Sr. coming speed, flips in the hard left. I believe we lost Cupcake. Rusty Rod finishes first. I believe Craigster Sr. finished on his hood for 2nd. I'm not sure who got 3rd. Let's take a look at this lap. Coming through the carousel, Hades challenges for 2nd. Could not finish the pass. When he challenged them, that put Craigster Sr. on the wall, and Craigster just flips it again. But they slide through. Everyone has the momentum to keep going. There's Craigster Sr. flipping. Arlo going for a ride in the back. Check that out. Coming through, and wow, Puff just runs right into Cupcake. Cupcake going for a ride and takes the big fall. If we had the Wilhelm scream, that'd be a great place to put it right there. Anyway, coming through the Phil Collins corner, they do have enough momentum to make the big push, and I cannot believe that Craigster Sr. will finish this lap because he does pass the finish line. Even though he's on his hood, it will count. If you're keeping score, Craigster Sr. has gone upside down 4 of the 5 laps. Finishing orders: Rusty Rod, Puff, Hades, Arlo. Here is your grid for your 6th lap. Now, Rusty Rod and Hades, if they finish this lap, they are moving on to the finals. If Puff passes both Craigster Sr. and Rusty Rod and finishes in first, he will also be moving to the finals. Craigster Sr., Arlo, and Cupcake are hoping for some DNFs from the other drivers to give them a chance. Lap 6, Rusty Rod in great position, rookie to the track. Here he takes him on down through the carousel. Craigster Sr. fighting him for the whole shot. Rusty Rod finally gets it, comes through and takes the lap. And that is, who's upside down there? That's Puff. Puff is upside down. Rusty Rod and Hades are heading to the finals. Let's see what happens here. Coming through the carousel, Craigster Sr. gets a little squirrely heading down the hill, a little sideways up front, kind of brings everybody together. Head on through the Phil Collins corner, everyone's fine, and that is when Arlo gets underneath Puff. Oh, that was Cupcake slowing Puff down. Arlo slams into him, puts him in the air, and Cupcake and Arlo flip Puff in Champ's corner, which will give Arlo and Cupcake a chance. Puff, Arlo, and Cupcake are all 2 laps down. That means we got at least 2 laps more to race. This is crazy. This will also be the first time someone that was 2 laps down will move on. Now, everyone that was 2 laps down, you're gonna see here would look like they're 1 lap down with Cupcake, Arlo, Puff. But Craigster Sr. is in front of them. And you cannot have someone that's not in the lead in the pole position. Technically, they're on the same lap as you then. So he also gets a lap back, but has to go to the back of the pack. That's what they do with NASCAR. That's what they do with Indy. That's what we're doing here. Cupcake, Arlo, Puff, and Craigster Sr. on the same lap. Here is Cupcake in the pole position, ready to take him on down. Arlo with a great start, challenging Cupcake. Arlo gets the whole shot, spins in the hang 10. That's Cupcake back in front. Cupcake will take the lap with Arlo in second. I believe it's the exact same order with Puff and then Craigster Sr. next to him. That means the first person to finish this next lap moves on to the finals. Arlo with a great pass coming into the hard left, loses it going into the hang 10. Cupcake holds on tight, passes Arlo before the Phil Collins corner, heads through Champs. Arlo doing a little blocking, not letting Puff pass. And they finish just how they started the lap. Here we go again. Cupcake and Arlo in the front row, Puff and Craigster Sr. in the second row. First one past the finish line moves on to the finals. 3 veterans to this track, 1 rookie to this track. What else can I say that make this more suspenseful? Whoever edited this needs to be fired for making this so long. Finally, here we go, lap 8. Cupcake in that pole position. Takes him on down to the carousel. Arlo gets a good start, but Cupcake takes the whole shot. Craigster Sr. runs Arlo off the track. Challenges for the win, but Cupcake is going to be moving on to the finals. There is Arlo down in the sub-safety surface track area thingamabobber. What are those, packing peanuts and bubble wrap? That might have been a softer landing than we thought, but here's the replay. Let's find out what happened to Arlo. Coming through the carousel, Cupcake holds on tight, and that is when Craigster Sr. gets a great run, gets next to Arlo, and just takes a right turn coming out of the hard left, and there goes Arlo off the track. Cupcake, Craigster Sr., and Puff all flying through the hang 10 and Phil Collins, and this is where Craigster Sr. gets on the inside of Cupcake. It looks like he's got the speed, but check this out. Puff catches up with some speed and bangs Cupcake from behind. Sorry, he nudges Cupcake's back bumper to give him the win. Here are the results for Group 2, Round 2, Corvette Super Sprints. Rusty Rod is moving on. Hades in second place. Cupcake takes third. Cupcake is also the first one to come from 2 laps down and move on to the finals. We're saying goodbye to Craigster Sr., Puff, and Arlo. All 3 of those guys had amazing cars. Thank you so much for entering the Corvette Super Sprints. We're going to see you guys again, hopefully sometime soon, in our next races. But up next is going to be the finals for the Corvette Super Sprints right here at the Mullet River Sprint Track. This is Shannon B.R. saying congratulations to Rusty Rod, Hades, and Cupcake. They'll be moving on, so will we. We'll see y'all next week for the finals of the Corvette Super Sprints. Until that time, check out all the other amazing tracks. Just head over to redlinederby.com. See you then.